Hi, Dr. Symeon Rodger here. How would you like a tip or technique, a specific technique you can use to get incredible results in life, and it's actually really easy to implement and has incredible potential? Yeah? What if it were considered one of the top techniques for producing longevity by the Taoist longevity tradition itself? Would that make a difference? One that has numerous physical and mental benefits. Sound good? Okay, let's begin. So, an ancient Taoist source called Ancestor Lu, you don't need to know anything about Ancestor Lu, but he said the following. He said, if you wish to prolong life, have energy and spirit help each other. Okay, what the heck does that mean? Yeah, it's not exactly self-explanatory for us, is it? No, not quite. So, to get into it, he said, okay, have energy and spirit help each other. Breath is the physical manifestation of energy. In this world, breath is the physical manifestation of energy. Likewise, mental attention or your mental focus is the physical, as it were, manifestation of spirit in this world. So that's what he meant. So having energy and spirit help each other, what it really means, what it comes down to is very simple. Pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to your breath. Okay, that doesn't sound like exactly world-changing advice because you've heard it before and it sounds like something you'd hear from, you'd hear it in Zen, you'd hear it in all kinds of meditation systems, you'd hear it, across the board. But people don't do it. Okay, not like he's talking about. And that's what we're going to get into. So why would you bother doing this? Well, for one thing, people are always talking about how do I overcome the monkey mind, right? So the most effective way to overcome the monkey mind is to pinion the monkey mind, pinion your mental attention. In other words, pay attention to something that is physical, especially something that's a process like breathing. So when you pay attention to something physical, it's much easier to keep the mind steady. And you'll find this in your own experience. Okay, it may take a little bit of practice, but it's actually quite true. And that's why so many of these techniques begin by focusing on breathing. It's very simple. So easy to pinion the mind, which means once you do that, you start emptying out the monkey mind. The mind becomes emptier. In other words, fewer and fewer thoughts. Thoughts decrease, and the emotionalized content of those thoughts also decreases. So very quickly, you enter a state where you are free of all the mental confusion that's often haunting you or keeping you up at night. All of this fretting about the past, fretting about the future, all of that stuff goes away, right? And there are huge physical benefits too, because when you begin this process, it doesn't take very long before your blood pressure goes down, your heart rate goes down, right? And why does this happen? Well, it's partly because when you do this breathing, what it's doing, it's affecting your nervous system. It's switching you from the sympathetic circuit to the parasympathetic circuit. So the parasympathetic circuit of the nervous system is deeply relaxing. And that's where you actually want to be most of the time. Because if you're in the sympathetic circuit, you're stressed out and there's cortisol flooding into your system and you're going to gain weight and your blood pressure is going to go up and your heart rate's going to go up and you become a disaster. You don't want any of that. So there are huge physical and mental benefits to all this, as you can see, right? So there's more to it. Because when you begin to do this, you're going to be able to start to physically, listen closely, physically sense the presence of the energies in and around you. And that is huge. That's opening you up to something entirely different. So how are you going to do this? Well, let's get into it. Step number one, very simple. Sit down in a comfortable kind of meditative position. All you have to do is make sure your back is relatively straight. And then just close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Just focus on your breathing. Very simple. I know some people can't actually do that. It creates feelings of shortness of breath and things like this. If that's the case, stop, come back to it later. Or there are other ways of doing this, but we'll talk about those at a different time. But as long as you can do this, just sit, focus on your breath. You're not trying to change anything, not trying to control your breath in particular. You want to breathe abdominally because it's always healthy to breathe abdominally. But beyond that, really don't worry about it. Just allow yourself to breathe and notice the breathing process. That's step one. Now, step two, and this is where it gets interesting. Once you've gotten into it and you're relatively calm, continue the breathing process, but take part of your mental attention and focus it on the tip of a finger. Doesn't matter which finger. Or you can use all the fingers of a hand. Doesn't matter. And simply continue breathing and ask yourself, with the inhaling and exhaling process, what do I feel is happening at the tips of my fingers? You can also do this same exercise, asking yourself, what do I feel if I focus on my eyes as I inhale and exhale, or my ears, or the top of my head, the crown of my head, meaning the very top point, which is in front of the crown your hair comes out of, or tips of your toes also work. But then you can expand it, and you can actually put your mental attention anywhere on the surface of your skin, anywhere on the surface of your skin, and just ask yourself the same thing. And this is where a whole entirely new world opens up to you, a world that your culture has taught you to ignore. See, we were never told there was anything interesting there, but it is not only very interesting, it has huge, huge benefits. And we can't get into those right now. I don't want to prolong this video too much, but those are the simple instructions. Combining energy and spirit. The more often you do it, the better you feel. And again, once you begin to sense what's going on around you, it's pretty hard to stop. I'm Dr. Symeon Rodger. Enjoy that. Have fun with it. Let me know what you come up with. Keep an eye on your email. Keep an eye on the videos because we have some really cool webinars coming for you in the very near future. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.